Hi everyone, welcome to the latest edition of The Player's Perspective. I am your host, Wes McKinney, here today with the catcher of the baseball team, senior Brandon Costa. Brandon, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Now, as the catcher, Brandon, you have a lot of responsibilities. You have to manage the pitching staff, manage the defense, So just talk about all the responsibility you have on the field.
Well, the overall responsibility is the pitcher. You want to make sure that he gets through the game effectively, comfortably with all of his pitches. So you're constantly talking to him about how he feels with certain pitches, how he feels on the inside part of the plate, how he feels on the outside part of the plate. And also you want to make sure that the starting pitcher, for me, gets through the whole game. That's my goal. I want him to get through the whole game, finish, complete game, and then when a relief pitcher comes in, you want to make sure he shuts the door. Also, from the defensive side, you want to keep the defense in it so they stay behind your pitcher, but the overall responsibility is the pitcher.
Entering play this weekend, you've thrown out a league-leading 12 runners while trying to steal. What's been the key to the success you've had this season of throwing out runners?
Well, a lot of that goes to the pitchers. They really worked hard on their lead recognition, being quicker to the plate, allowing me to, throw runners out. So they worked very hard on their times to the plate and allowing me to throw runners out. Also from the catching staff side, Charlie Goss, TJ Brockway, Paul Williams, and myself, we all worked on our footwork along with receiving and other things like that. But with our footwork, we really wanted to emphasize being quick with our feet because everybody thinks you have to have a strong arm as a catcher. That's not always the case. It's a plus, but you really want to have quick feet, and that's something that we really went after this fall and this spring.
All season pitching has been absolutely outstanding. This past weekend, you mentioned getting pitchers through complete games. You got 4 pitchers through 4 complete games at Charleston. What's it like to catch these guys week in and week out?
It's a lot of fun. These guys, they always want the ball, whether they're a starter or relief pitcher. They want to go out there, they want to compete, they want to win games. And for me, it's fun. All I have to do is sit back there and enjoy the ride because these guys are going to hit their spots. They're going to make me look good as a catcher when I put the signs down. And it's just a fun staff to catch because they always want to go out there and compete and they always want to win.
Now, you lead the team in sacrifice hits. What's your approach when you go up there to the plate, and trying to help move runners over and produce runs playing small ball?
Well, Coach Wright always says, leave the situation better than you found it offensively. And me as the 9-hole hitter, I try to really implement that into my approach at the plate. If there's a guy on second base, I try to hit behind him, hit to the right side of the field to get him to third base to let the big guys in our order do what they do, and that's driving runs. So if there's a guy on first base, if I'm not swinging the bat that well, I try to get him to second base any way I can. So I really just take the approach of leave the situation better than you found it.
On the season, you guys are 14-3 at home. What are the best things about playing at Anderson Field?
Well, it's your home field. You're comfortable with it. You practice at it every day. You know how the sun sets because you know how that sun is. When it gets around 3 or 4 o'clock. So, and also the hops on the infield and on the outfield, so you know what to expect. And as a hitter, the backdrop behind the pitcher, so you know how you can pick up the ball and how to time pitchers, and it's just you feel comfortable at your home field.
Looking at the rest of the season, you guys are 21-11, second place in the MEC. What are some goals the team has in mind coming down the home stretch here the last month of the season?
Well, the overall goal every year is to be national champions, is win that national title, and that's always right there on top of the list. But there are also small goals, short-term goals, and objectives that you have to accomplish in order to get there. And as of right now, since our pitching and our pitching is doing spectacular and our defense is doing very well, offensively we want to do enough offensively to win games. And that whether that's getting a sacrifice bunt like you said earlier, or driving in a guy from second base in the gap, or hitting behind a runner with a guy on third base, just any way we can manufacture runs, that's our goal right now.
We're going to close up today with some rapid-fire questions. Who throws the hardest fastball out of all the pitchers?
I would have to go with Ryan Weatherholtz and Tyler Coyle for starting pitchers, and then a relief pitcher, I would have to go with Chris Baker.
What pitcher has the best breaking ball that might be the hardest to block?
Tim Leather's changeup. It has some nasty sink on it, and whenever he throws it pretty hard. It's not like one of them, floating changeup. He throws it hard, and when he, puts a little bit extra behind, it can be tough to block.
Besides your own walk-up music, who has the best walk-up music on the team?
Charlie Goss, because his walk-up is from a local band from his town, and they were a big-time hair band back in the 80s, early 90s, and I just thought it was cool how he implemented his own town into his walk-up music. I thought it was pretty cool.
Now, your walk-up music says something about the Wolfpack. The dugout gets to howling occasionally when you come up to bat. Explain your walk-up music and the idea behind it.
Well, I'm a big wrestling fan, like WWE fan, and the Wolfpack was something that was big during the 90s and like the WCW and everything, and I just remember it being so iconic with the howl of the wolf, and then they had a good beat going and everything, and for me, it was just something as a walk-up song. It had a good rhythm, try to get me into a rhythm, because I don't have any rhythm, honestly. So it kind of got me into a rhythm and got me into a mentality where, this guy's not going to get you out and kind of stuff like that. And the team caught on to it, so I just stuck with it, and the team enjoys it and I enjoy it, so it's a win-win.
All right, Brandon, thanks for coming by today. Concord baseball on the road this weekend at Wheeling Jesuit Saturday and Sunday. Concord returns home on April 26th and 27th to host West Liberty. For Brandon Costa, I am Wes McKinney, and this has been the latest edition of The Player's Perspective.